A polynomial p is given, p of x equal to x cubed minus 64. Find all zeros of p, real and complex. What we might realize is that this is in the form of a difference of cubes. The difference of cubes factors using a simple formula. If we have something in the form a cubed minus b cubed, we factor it by first dropping the cubes. So we would just have a minus b in our first factor. Then in our next factor, we will have a squared, then change the negative to a positive, and multiply a and b together, and then plus b squared. So what we have to do is decide what is it that's being cubed. So we have x cubed minus 4 cubed to give us x cubed minus 64. So then, in this case, a would be x and b would be 4. So using this form then, we can factor x minus 4 times x squared plus 4x plus 16. Now, set this equal to 0 to find the roots. We will use the zero product rule that says if we have two things that are multiplied together and that product is equal to 0, then one of the factors must be 0. So we will write x minus 4 is 0, or x squared plus 4x plus 16 is equal to 0. Here we have found one of the roots by adding 4 to both sides. So x equals 4 will be one of the roots. We can find the other by completing the square on the remaining quadratic. We will begin by subtracting 16 from both sides, and I've left a space so that I can write in the term that will complete this square. We complete the square by locating the coefficient on x, which is 4, dividing it by 2, and then squaring it. This will give us 2 squared, which is 4. We write this in the open space, and then in order to compensate for the change, we add it also to the other side. Now we have completed the square on the left, so we can write this as x plus 2 squared, which is equal to minus 12. Now we can use the square root property, and we would have the square root of x plus 2 squared equal to, and remember to apply the plus or minus on the right, equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 12. Now on the left we have x plus 2, and on the right we have plus or minus. We can factor a 2 and an I out of the radical, and we're left with a square root of 3. Now subtracting 2 from both sides, we have x equals minus 2 plus or minus 2i times the square root of 3. So there are our other two factors.